Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Speeders, and of course we had the developer update today to say what changes from the PTB are actually going to go live in our update tomorrow, and that update should hit sometime before 11 a.m. and of course the chapter will probably drop around noon like it usually does, both Eastern Standard Time. Now, of course, we saw a few major things: the drop of Nick Cage, the changes to Sadako, and of course we saw some other little minor tweaks. We saw the bots, we saw a lot of cool stuff, and here's what the developer notes actually have to say.
Not you. Sadako, wait a minute, I live with
It's been a little over a week since our star-studded public test build, and it's been delightful to see many Nicolas Cages running through the entity's realm, screaming at the sight of a killer, getting befuddled by flashlights. And as we're getting ready for the premiere, we've been working on a few adjustments based on your feedback. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Onryo, and we've been keeping close eyes, pun intended, on her update as it played out on the PTB and reviewing your feedback. Well, if anyone's feedback said it was good, they're probably lying. Cursed tapes. Oh, this was so bad. During the PTB, being hit with a basic attack while carrying a tape would cause you to gain a stack of condemned. Additionally, being hooked with the tape would also give it to your teammates. And while risky to hold, these tapes protected you from gaining condemned when the Onryo projects. Though this did make tapes more part of the game, it also made for way too much protection. So here's what's going to actually happen coming live tomorrow. Survivors who are hit while carrying a tape will gain 2 stacks of condemned and the tape is destroyed. Being hooked while carrying a tape will no longer infect other survivors with condemned, and the tape will still be destroyed. This will allow the Onryo to more easily inflict condemned on survivors who are carrying tape, even if she does not commit to the chase. Afterwards, she addressed these potential exploit, though the killer repeatedly down survivor who was carrying a tape to build condemned with no opportunity for counterplay. And of course, let's go over her projection. While survivors have more reason to pick up a cursed tape, it was unusual to find most TVs disabled at any given time. Though strategically turning off TVs as intended counterplays to the Onryo, we found this was a little too restrictive for the killer. So basically, taking tapes was what they wanted, but then there was nowhere for her to go because everyone's tape was missing, but they weren't really getting the condemned you wanted, so it was kind of really a nerf to her. So here's what they're going to finally go with. We already heard what they're doing with the tapes. Projection now is 10-second cooldown instead of 15. TVs disabled by projection now remain disabled for 45 seconds was 100, and TVs disabled by survivors remain disabled for 70 seconds was 90. When it comes to nerfs, no one has been hit more than our good friend Pig. I swear to God, every time they're like, all right, it's time to hit Blade. And they're like, did you say Pig? Yes, that's what we said. Or one of her perks. And of course, Hangman's trick was on the table. Hangman's trick found itself in a tricky spot. Since it would reveal auras around every hook on the map, it wasn't possible to increase range without making the perk cover the entire map. Though it was performing as well as we would have liked, it made it difficult to adjust. For the PTB, we tested Hangman's trick on Scourge hooks only, and basically they changed the Scourge hook Hangman's trick, and doing that, they allows them to double the Scourge hook range of 12 meters instead of 6 for aura rating, and that's what they're going to go with, even though it won't launch with the actual update. So instead, it's going to come as a little patch update later before the August 30th drop of the next chapter. Animations, basically what they did was they made everyone, when they did an M1, look down to wipe the blade. You have that with some killers, you don't with others. And some people were getting nauseous because they weren't used to it, so they were trying to look up and then basically getting this like wavy, waspy looking motion, and it made people sick. So instead, they're just making the killers do exactly what they did before. If you wiped and look down, you're going to, and if you wipe and don't, you're going to still. So basically, that's just not being changed at all. And there you have it. That means Nick's not getting touched. They're going to leave all these meme-tacular perks as we had them on the PTB. Let's go! So in retrospect, Onryo probably better now. I feel like this is a better place to have her in coming out of the PTB, which was she was really gutted. Like, we were just abusing the hell out of everyone carrying tapes. It was just Nick Cage's running around with tapes, talking to Sadakos. It was hilarious, but I felt really bad. And then I played her. It was awful. And I played Sadako a lot, and she never felt this weak. So I feel like they found some good common ground. I didn't care about the animations either way. A lot of the killers I played just looked down anyway. And Hangman's trick is not a perk I'm going to use, so I really didn't care. But the fact that they left Nick intact is really good. Plot twist is one of the funnest perks I've seen in a long time. Dramaturgy is really, really entertaining, and I'm glad they kept that the way. And scene partner is just absurd. So the fact that all these meme-tacular perks, which will never probably creep into the meta, but are a hell of a lot of fun to play, are left intact, so that we can have as much fun with Nick Cage tomorrow as possible. The update will probably drop around 11 a.m., maybe a little bit earlier like usual. And of course, Nick Cage's chapter will drop on 12 Eastern like usual. You'll be able to buy it in all your stores and play the hell out of Nick Cage tomorrow. Of course, we'll be doing a much longer DVD stream, so drop by, tell me what you think about Nick, about Onryo, about everything, either in the comments below or when we're live tomorrow. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.